Hello and welcome to this video showing you how to add audio to a Prezi presentation. So the idea of this video is we're going to walk you through how you'd record audio and how you'd add it to the different slides in a Prezi presentation. Now this is quite an effective blended learning resource that you might also be able to use for a flipped classroom approach. So you could create a presentation of the lecture that you're about to deliver, record the audio walkthrough, upload it onto your Prezi, and then embed that in your Moodle page. So learners can still view the presentation and listen to the audio without having you there. So it's great for homework activities. As I said, flipped classroom. So present the subject topic first, and then in the classroom do the practical work associated with it. So before we get started, we need a couple of things first. One of them is we need some way of recording sound. So in this instance, I'm using the microphone on the headset, but it may also be that you can use the audio that's built into your laptop or computer. You may also need some kind of microphone or something else. What you might also be able to do is record the audio on a dictaphone or on your mobile phone or other sources like that, and then you can also upload that through the desktop to Prezi. You'll also need some kind of recording software. So in this example, we're using Audacity. You may be familiar with Audacity. It's a free audio recording software. It's available on all network computers at the college on the desktop. And it's dead simple to use, literally record, stop and save, and you're kind of on your way. But again, any other software that you might want to use, such as sound recorder apps or things like that, if you use a Mac, perhaps GarageBand or something like that. And then finally, we need a Prezi presentation. So here's one sort of I prepared earlier in relation to podcasting. And so what I'm going to do is show you how we can record the audio and insert it on the individual slides on the Prezi presentation. So the only downside really for Prezi with the kind of the free version is that you have to record the audio in advance to upload it to the slides. So it's a good idea to have a walkthrough and a test, and you have a bit more practice. So rather than doing the whole thing in one go, you can stop and start and add it as you go along. So the first thing we need to do is I'm going to do like an introduction, which I'm going to add to my first slide. So I've already got Audacity open and available. I've made sure that everything's plugged in, connected and working. One thing I have checked as well, which is quite important, is to look at the recording level on input. Now, generally speaking, if you use a microphone like this, it can tailor and track the level quite well, but sometimes loud noises, background noise can interfere. You'll also notice that I've got it just slightly below my lip line and not right in my face because I'll get lots of pops and clips and things like that. But the first thing I want to do is I want to go to my start menu and I want to click on control panel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the microphone input to make sure that it's not too loud. If it is too loud, it's going to sound horrible on the audio. So I've gone start, control panel. I'm going to click on hardware and sound. And you'll notice here that I've got an option here for sound, and I'm going to click on sound. And I get this selection of boxes here. You know, see at the top here, I've got playback, recording, sounds, and communications. The one I really want is recording. And you'll see that as I'm talking, there's a meter on these green bits here on the right-hand side that's going up. Well, because I'm using this headset, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click the properties. I know this is a little bit long-winded, but it'll save you real headaches, if you come to find that all your audio's sort of cooked, so to speak. So I've clicked the properties and we're going to check the listen and we're going to check the levels. So you can see on my levels that I've got a kind of a headset microphone boost option here. Now I can increase that bit by bit to increase the overall volume that's coming in. Ideally, you want to keep this on a kind of a middle to lower setting if you can. You can always increase the volume afterwards if you've got advanced features in Audacity, but quite honestly, the equipment does quite a good job. So you must check that that's turned down. If it's too loud, then it could be a problem for you. So I'm going to click OK and click OK and close this window down. So I'm happy that my volume is loud enough and correct, and I've got the best input that I need. So now we're going to actually record our first bit of audio. I've got Audacity open, which was there from the desktop. And all I'm going to do is literally just click the record button. This is the first thing you want to do. It should set itself up by default. If not, by going into File and then Preferences, you can select the recording device. So it may be that you've got a microphone or some other devices plugged in, and here you'll be able to select which one is inputted into the Audacity. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to record a short introduction to my podcasting presentation. So here we go. Hi, and welcome to this Prezi on podcasting. In this Prezi, we're going to look at some of the features of podcasting, some tools and equipment and software that you need, and also some ways in which to upload and make your podcasts accessible by learners. I'm Ross, I'm your teacher for today, so please sit back and enjoy the session. Thank you. Okay, so as you can see, a good thing about Audacity is we actually get kind of like a visual representation of what my audio looks like. So if I've got something like that on my screen, I know I've recorded it. It's picked up the sound and I just need to save that and upload that to Prezi. If you get just a flat line, then the chances are the microphone's not working. You'll also notice at the top of the screen, around here where the microphone input is, that there wasn't any metering going on at all. If that's the case, you need to check your connections, you need to check your microphone, you need to check that everything's set up. Okay, so now I've got my introduction. You'll notice I left a slight gap at the beginning and also a slight gap at the end. Now the reason for that is when you upload your audio to Prezi, as soon as your audio finishes, it will automatically go on to the next slide. So if you want to leave a gap so that students have got a few seconds in which to gather their thoughts before you go on to the next slide, then just leave a slightly longer gap. But that can be worked around because you can stop and start the presentation as you go along. But it just makes it quite easy for the learner. So I've got my audio. I'm happy that that's what I'm going to do for the introduction. So what I need to do now is basically save that. So I'm going to go up to File and I'm going to click Export as WAV. Okay, so that's the main file that you want to be using. I'm going to click WAV and you'll notice that I can save it to my file. So I'm going to save it to, in fact, we'll save it to my music here, and I'm going to label it slide 1 and click save. So I've now saved that audio. We'll just keep that open for a second, but we'll come back and record the next slide after we've done this. I'm going to minimize that and I'm going to go to my Prezi. So now in front of me I have my Prezi presentation. All I'm going to do is pick the slide that I want that uploaded to. So in this instance it's going to be the opening slide. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click add voiceover to path step. Okay, so right click on the slide that you want and click add voiceover to path step. So I'm going to click that and I get an option to search for my files. So I'm going to look for the WAV that I've just uploaded, which is there, slide 1. I'm going to double click that and you'll notice now I actually get a slot that says uploading. So that's quite handy. If you've got really long clips, it's going to take quite a long time to upload. So you need to be aware of that depending on your computer, your connection and other stuff. Because once it's uploaded, it then has to convert that to be a more compatible file type to make sure that it's playable over the web. So that bit can take a little bit of time depending on the length of your clip. So now I can see that that's done. Unfortunately, I haven't got the means to play the audio at the second, but when I click play, I can hear that in my headset, which is my recording of what I've said on the screen. So I'm going to click done, and that's now my audio uploaded. Now you'll notice above the slide, I've now got the option here that says slide 1 WAV, and I've actually got the audio recorded on it. What I can do is I can click on that again, and I've even got the option to delete it. So if I'm not happy with it, I can just delete it and it's gone. Be aware though as well that the longer the audio that you record and the clips, it may create some time issues with the loading for your Prezi and things like that. Obviously, the more information that's being downloaded on the learner's device or laptop over the internet, the slower it might be. So try and keep it short and sharp as best you can. Remember, the learner can always go back to that clip and keep watching it over and over again, depending on what settings you've got. So now that's set up, the way to test that is I'm going to click the present button, and I can literally click the play button in the bottom left hand corner of my Prezi and it will automatically play the audio for me. It's playing the audio for me. When it finishes playing the audio, it should automatically go onto the next slide. And the audio is finished, so it should automatically go to the next slide, which it has done. And then it would play that audio. Now, because I've not got any audio set up here, it's just on a predetermined timer of a few seconds, flicking through the slides. But you can see how for a learner, this might be a little bit more engaging, being able to sit and watch a short 10-minute presentation with all the facts that they can keep referring to bit by bit. Okay, so we'll just escape out of that. Now, if we go back to Audacity, if we want to record another clip, we've got a few options here. If we want to retain that first clip, then we can click the mute button here, which means it won't play that bit of audio. Or actually, because we've saved it, we just need to delete that and we can start recording our next clip straight away, so we don't have any messing about. So as long as once we've finished those clips, we just go to File, Export as WAV, then we can build up all our clips as we go along. Okay, so one of the great things about Prezi is being able to embed that content into, let's say, a Moodle page. So we're just going to exit out of this presentation. We're happy that we've completed that, we've recorded the audio, and we've got the presentation in front of us now. We can just paste the link for a learner to log on to, but actually what we really want to be able to do is embed that directly into our Moodle page, so they can go to the Moodle page, watch the presentation, do a couple of tasks, maybe submit an assignment, and it's all done online in one environment. So you'll notice that underneath, when we come to view our presentation, we've got the option to embed. And when we click on that, we get a special little code here, which you may or may not be familiar with if you're using YouTube videos and embedding Twitter feeds and things like that. And all we're going to do is copy that to clipboard. Okay. Now, once you've copied that to clipboard, that's the code that we can then embed into a Moodle page. Okay, so now I'd like to take that code from Prezi and I'd like to embed it into my Moodle page so that the learners can view my recorded presentation with audio directly from Moodle. So obviously I've made sure that I've copied the code to clipboard and I'm going to go to my Moodle page. So I have a Moodle page, I have editing turned on, and what I'm going to do is add an activity or resource. And there's two places we can put this. One is as a label, which will directly embed the Prezi directly into my page. The only downside with that is if I've got lots of content on my page, it might take some time to load. So what I'm actually going to do is stick it in a Moodle page. So when they click the link that appears on the screen, it will go to a separate page where that will just be loading just that page rather than the whole page of content. So that's a bit more of an efficient way if you're using lots of media content. So I'm going to click page and I'm going to click add. And I get a couple of options here. I have a title, I have a description, and then the page content. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call this the podcasting Prezi. And we'll call it audio just for descriptive purposes. So we'll call this the podcasting intro. Okay, so then this bit down here where it says content, page content, this is the box where we're going to put that code that we've just copied from the Prezi presentation. So I need to click the little drop down button here to toggle the toolbar. And you'll notice that I have an option on the bottom here, which is two little arrows facing in opposite directions. It's the edit HTML source. I'm going to click that. And within this box, I'm just going to paste that code that I've got from Prezi. I'm going to click update. And you'll notice that after a few seconds, it loads my Prezi presentation directly into the page content. So that will take an exact copy of what's in my Prezi presentation on Prezi. If I change the Prezi presentation on Prezi, it should automatically change what's here on the page. I don't need to do anything else with the pages. All I'm going to do is click Save and Display. And then all I'm presented with is a page where my Prezi presentation loads. And when I click play, it will load up the presentation. As you'll notice, it does take a little bit of time because Prezis are quite bandwidth hungry when it comes to that sort of thing. And obviously it's got to load the audio as well. So now it should automatically start when I click the play button. So I'll click the play button and I can hear it in my headset that it's playing the audio now. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you need any more further advice and guidance, please contact me directly, andersonro@grimsby.ac.uk, or pop along to Innovate over at 114 Bargate for some drop-in advice and support. Thank you for watching.